Hey guys, so in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this bigger ghost design, which is actually already on my channel, but I've decided to remake it because this is one of my first tutorials. I think it's in the first 3 Loomigurumi things I ever did on this channel, and I think it's a pretty cute design. I don't think I've made it since I've made that tutorial, but I've decided to remake it today because yesterday, as you probably know or saw, I posted my mini ghost, which is it's basically this ghost, but I made it way smaller because this is just so big and I thought it would look cuter smaller, and it does. So yeah, I decided to remake this also though because this is a very easy design, because a lot of my designs start with tripled cap bands, but this one actually has a doubled cap band, so if you're a beginner, this is like a super good design for a beginner. It's really simple, and the hardest part is probably doing the squiggly bit on the bottom, but it's not even that hard, so I wasn't going to remake this tutorial, but then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, this is actually a really, really good design if you're a beginner, and it's something easy, and it's really cute. So yeah. So here's the design. I think, it might look a little different when I remake it just because I've improved a lot, and I don't know, I do the faces different now. I used to do felt mouths, so I don't really do that anymore. So, yeah, so here's the design. If you want to see, in the thumbnail is probably more of what this design actually looks like. I don't know. But yeah, here it is. So like I said, super good design for a beginner. Band-wise, it is a little bit band heavy because like I said, it's so big. I do kind of prefer my smaller ghosts, but that's just me. I like tiny things. So it takes about 230 bands, which is a lot more band heavy than most of my designs, but I feel like this is, like I said, worth it if you're a beginner. Also, I don't know if you can hear my brother screaming in the background. Both my brothers are playing video games currently, so that's what that is. If you hear any screaming, it's because my little brother and my older brother are gaming, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this design. I do kind of like this design. This is one of my first, I don't know, I always have attachment to my first designs. I'm getting so off topic here. Anyways, for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using this jelly white. You can use whatever color you want for your ghost. I always use jelly bands just because, I don't know, ghosts make me think more of jelly bands than like opaque. I also can't find half these. I made so many of these ghosts and I don't know where half of them are. I was going to film this tutorial and this is the only ghost I found. But yeah, so I think it's a super cute design, and I guess I'll start getting to show you how to make it. Also, I don't remember if in my old tutorial I had the pattern in the description, but if you just want to follow the pattern, it is in the description. And yeah, so pattern, band count, all that's in the description. But we're going to get started. So, of course, you're going to need a hook today. I'm going to be using my double-ended hook just because I like this hook. So, but we only need one end, so you can use whatever hook you have. You're going to want something to mark your rows. I'll be using a C-clip. Once I find where I set my C-clip, I always lose my C-clips. C-clip. And like I said, you're going to want bands in whatever color you want for your ghosts. You're going to want beads, safety eyes, whatever you want to do for the face. If you want to put cheeks, I'll be putting cheeks on one of these guys today. You're going to want to get whatever bands you want for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, we'll get started. This is a super quick design, so I don't think this tutorial is going to be super long. But yeah. Also, that was a long intro, I'm sorry. I feel like I just kept getting off topic, but yeah, I kept getting distracted. I'm picking up bands off camera. Okay. So to start, let me focus the camera. I'm so sad I didn't do spooky nails this year. Ugh, I should have. I've made like how many Halloween tutorials, and my nails are boring in all of them. Not important, but I wish I had time to. Anyways, to start, we're going to start by doubling a band on our hook, like that. And then we're going to be putting 6 stitches into this cap band. So what that basically means, if you don't know what that means, I'll show you. So once you've doubled the cap band on your hook, you're going to pull a band through everything on your hook, put both ends back on your hook, and then you're going to push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to go back into the cap band, pull a band through just the cap band, so not this last loop. Like that. Oh yeah, and then you put the back one over the front one. I did it to have it. But yeah, so you go through the cap band, you pull a band through just the cap band, both ends back on your hook, push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. And we'll just keep repeating this until we have 6 stitches in the cap band. So you just keep doing it. I don't know if I should like zoom in a little more. Yeah. So once you've done 6 stitches and you want to make sure you have 6, the way you can check is you're going to start by counting the loop on your hook, and then you'll just count all the loops backwards. So you start by counting this one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like that. Should be looking something like this. You can also kind of see that there's 6 stitches in it. So once you've done 6 stitches, instead of going into this cap band, we're going to go into the first loop here, and you're not going to go into this weird bit. Sometimes it looks like a loop. You can kind of tell it's the band that's folded over. So this is the first loop, so we're going to go into that. And we're going to just do the same thing. So you're going to pull a band through just the loop, put both ends back on your hook, push the back one over the front one, and then put the loop from last time over as well. And we're going to be putting our C-clip on this band. So we'll just get our C-clip, and we'll put it on. And that is it for the start. So now we're going to start the next row, and the next row we're going to be increasing everything. So every single stitch we do is going to be an increase. So like I said, we'll be increasing everything. So this stitch already has 1 stitch in it, like this loop has 1 stitch in it, but we're going to want to go back into that same loop and do another stitch. And then it'll be an increase. So all an increase is you basically put 2 stitches in each loop until you get back to the C-clip. Oh my god, my little brother's really screaming. Oh, my brothers, whenever they play video games together, they always get so loud. But yeah. So let me show you again what an increase is. So you just go into the next loop. You'll make 1 stitch. And then you'll go back in. And you'll make another stitch. And that's an increase. I seriously don't know if you can hear him. But oh my god. Yeah, I'm just laughing at my little brother, I'm sorry. But we just did an increase, so we're just gonna keep doing the same thing we just did for all the loops until we get back to the C-clip. I'm gonna have to watch this video, this footage back to see if you can hear him. But yeah. So all we're doing is putting 2 stitches in each of these loops till we get back to the C-clip. I think I finally found out how to set up my ring light today so we get good lighting, because the lighting's looking pretty good in this tutorial. I feel like I've been having lighting issues recently. Like I've been trying to figure out how to get my lighting to work out. But once you get to the C-clip, you're just gonna go through the loop that has a C-clip on it. You're gonna make a stitch like you usually would. And then you're gonna get the C-clip off this band and move it up onto the one that's on your hook. And that is it. So after this row, you should be at 12 loops. So if you count around, you should have 12. So you'll start by counting the one on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that. I don't know if you can hear everything that's going on, but there's like a siren going on outside because a fire truck is passing. And then my brother's screaming. Like, this video has some... If you guys can hear everything, it sounds probably so chaotic, and I'm so sorry. But yeah, so for the next row, we're going to be increasing every other, so it's kind of similar to what we did this row, but instead of just doing every stitch an increase, we're going to do an increase, and then we're going to do a single stitch, and then we're going to do an increase. And we're just going to do that until we get to the C-clip. So this first one will count as our single stitch, so in the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So once again, we'll be putting 2 stitches in this loop. And then the next one we'll do a single stitch, so you just put 1 stitch in this loop. And then we'll do an increase, so we put 2 in this one. And you just keep alternating doing this all the way around. So you do 2 stitches, and then the next one, because we just did an increase, we do 1 stitch. And you do 2. My little brother, their gaming commentary is so random. Anyone who has brothers probably understands. But yeah. So I'm just alternating between doing increases and single stitches until we get back to the C-clip. So single stitch increase. And then we do a single stitch. Then we do an increase. I'm so tempted to pause to see if you can hear my brother or not. But once you get to the C-clip, you'll make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it, and then you'll move the C-clip up onto this loop. Like that. So now if you count around, I believe we should be at 18 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you should have 18 loops. And at this point, I like to start squishing him flat a little bit. Just because this is a... Well, how I make him, he looks like a little two-dimensional ghost, so I kind of just squish him flat. Okay, so now here's where it gets repetitive. So we're going to be doing 8 rows normal. So just 8 rows of single stitches all the way around until we get to the C-clip. So I'm going to stay and do the first maybe 1, 2 rows on with you. And then after I do those 1, 2 rows, I'm going to go off camera to do the rest because it takes a while to do all these rows because it's pretty big as well. So, like I said, we're doing 8 rows normal, and what that basically means is we're just doing single stitches all the way around until we get to the C-clip. So you just put 1 stitch in every loop, oops, until you get to the C-clip. So we're just doing single stitches all the way around. And at the end of each of these rows, you should still be at 18 loops. So yeah, we're just doing single stitches all the way around, putting 1 stitch in every single loop. It always takes a second to do these rows because they're so big. And once you get to the C-clip, you'll make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it and move it up. And that is pretty much it. So you just do 8 rows exactly like the one we just did. So that was row 1. So if you did that one, you have to do 7 more. I'm going to stay and do 1 more row on camera, and then I'm going to go off to do the rest. So it's just the same thing again. So we just continue doing nothing but single stitches and just putting 1 stitch in every loop until we get back to the C-clip. You know, I think it's funny because the other day when I was filming the candy cord tutorial, I had like so much to say. Like I talked so much in that tutorial. And I don't know, today I'm more quiet, don't have too much to say. But then again, for the past 3 days, I've been waking up every morning and just hurrying up and filming a tutorial because I'm trying to get some Halloween tutorials for you guys out before it's Halloween. I realized I posted hardly any tutorials this month. I don't know what happened. I got busy. Like, I didn't even get busy. I don't even know what I did this month. I mean, I've been working on a lot of things. I did do a lot of things this month. It's just, I don't know. I've been doing stuff. It's just, didn't do many tutorials. That being said, I did miss doing tutorials. Like, after I've been filming these past couple days, I was like, I kind of missed it. So I'm glad to be back. Okay, and then once we get to the C-clip, we'll just make a stitch on the band that has the C-clip on it. And we'll move it up. Like that. And while you're making these rows, you're probably going to want to squish them flat a little bit, because we want our glows to be flat. And yeah, So that was 2 rows. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to do the other 6 rows. Like I said, you want 8 rows in total. So yeah. So I'm going to go do 6 more rows and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do this little squiggly end bit. Okay, so I just finished doing the 8 rows and it should look something like this. If you lost track of your rows, I can show you how you can find out how many you did. So you can see right here, there's an increase. I don't know if you can see. So right there, you can see there's, my hair. You can see there's 2 stitches right there. So you're going to want to go and you can see what stitch is on that and you'll just count down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I mean, if you did an extra row or you missed a row on this design, it's probably not the biggest deal. He'll still look cute, so don't worry too much if you lost count of your 8 rows. But now we're going to do the next step, which is actually pretty much the last step. After this, we just have to do the arms, which is making these little squiggly bits on the end. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be doing 2 single stitches, and then we're going to do the squiggly bit. So this is going to count as our first single stitch, the one that has a C-clip on it. And then we'll go ahead and do 1 more single stitch. So we have 1, 2 single stitches, and then once we have the 2 single stitches, we're going to go into the next loop. We're going to chain up 1, so we're going to pull a band through just the loop, put both ends back on our hook. So we just chained up 1. And then we're going to be putting 3 stitches in this chain. So we're going to pull a band through just the chain, put both ends back on our hook, push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. And then we're just going to go back into this chain 2 more times so there's 3 stitches in the chain in total. So once again, you'll go through the chain, pull a band through just the chain, put both ends back on your hook, push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. We're going to do that one more time. So, like that. So once you have 3 stitches in your chain, you're going to go ahead and do 2 more single stitches again. So you're going to do 1, and then you're going to do 2. And then once you've done 2 single stitches, we're going to do one of the squiggly bits again. So once again, we'll chain up 1. You'll pull a band through just that chain. Put both ends back on your hook. Push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. And then we go back into this chain and we do 2 more stitches. So you pull a loop band through just the chain. Put both ends back on your hook, back one over the front one. Then you put the loop from last time over as well. We do that one more time. And we made another squiggly bit. And you can see that there's a chain with 3 stitches in it. So once we've made sure we've done that, we're going to go ahead and do 2 more single stitches. And I'm picking up bands. So we're going to do 2 single stitches because we just finished doing the chain thing. So you just do 2 single stitches. And then after you do 2 single stitches, you do another squiggly bit. So we'll chain up 1. We'll put the first stitch in it. Then we'll go back in and do 2 more. And then once we've done 3 stitches in the chain, we'll do 2 single stitches. So 1, then we move to the next one, 2. Then after you do 2 single stitches, you'll do another chain squiggly bit part. We just keep doing this until we get back to the C-clip. I don't think that's too hard. And if you're still confused, you can always rewind and watch what I did again. But basically, you're just chaining up 1, putting 3 stitches in it, doing 2 single stitches, and then doing the squiggly part again. So I think it's pretty easy. And I'm picking up more bands again. Always takes me a second to pick up bands. Okay. You totally just heard my brother scream. He's still playing video games with my older brother. They're on the phone because my brother doesn't live in the same place that I live. Like, he's already moved out and everything, and he doesn't even live in the same city anymore. But once we get back to the C-clip, we're gonna... So, after you finish doing all the squiggly bits and you're back at the C-clip, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like a chained up thingy. Should have that many. So once it looks like this and we're at the C-clip, we're going to go through the band that has the C-clip on it. We're going to pull the band through everything on our hook. Then we're going to put the back one over the front one and we're going to pull tight. And you can just take the C-clip out at this point. And to tuck in the tail, we're just going to come up through the inside of some stitches here. So just come up through a few of them. And then you'll just pull the tail in through this and leave it like that. And there we go, we have our ghost main body bit. So now we just need to attach the arms as well as the face, and we're going to do the arms first. Okay, so to make the arms, we're going to come onto the side of our ghost here. We don't want to go too high up, so we're going to come... Oop, we went blurry. Still blurry. There we go. We're going to come about right here. And then we're going to make a circle that's about 5 stitches. So we're just going to make like 5 stitches in a circle on the side here. So I did 1. Come right here, make another stitch. 2. 3. 4. 5. So once you've made 5 stitches in a circle, you're going to want to count backwards to make sure you did 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you'll come in through this first loop here, make a stitch on that loop, and then put the C-clip on this loop. Now we're going to do 1 row around this little thing we made. So we're just going to be doing single stitches all the way around. So we're just doing single stitches all the way around. I know it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. The lighting is not cooperating. Once you get to the band that has a C-clip on it, you'll just make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it. And you can move the C-clip up at this point, but I'm just going to take it out. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to decrease everything. So to decrease, you're going to grab the inside part of one loop, the back part of the next loop, and then you just make a stitch on this. And then you're going to pick up the next decrease. So once you pick up the next decrease, you're just going to pull a band through everything on your hook. Put the back one over the front one and pull tight. And then you'll hide the tail inside his arm. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if I put his arm a little low. I think I did. It's always just so hard for me to see where I place things while I film. So his arm's a little low, but if it was a little higher, it would look great. So it's fine. So we're just going to repeat that exact same thing we just did on the other side. I'm so bad at attaching things on camera. Okay. So once again, we're going to stitch in a little circle here with 5 stitches. I'm also going to move his arm a little higher up. I definitely did that way too low. Hopefully this is a little higher. So once again, we'll just stitch in a circle 5 times. Okay, so once we've stitched in a circle 5 times, we're going to make sure we have 5 stitches, so you'll start by counting the one on your hook, and then you'll count backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once you've made sure you have 5 stitches, you'll go into this first loop here, make a stitch. We'll put a C-clip on this one. And then once again, we'll do 1 row normal around this. So we'll just do 1 row of single stitches all the way around. And then once you get back to the C-clip, you'll just make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it. And you can move it up, but I'm just going to take it out. So if we count around, we should still be at 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, once again, we're going to decrease everything until we're closed. So front part of one loop, back part of the next loop. And you'll make a stitch. Then we'll pick up the next decrease. And once we have that decrease up on our hook, we're going to pull a band through everything on our hook. Put the back one over the front one, and pull tight. And then we'll just tuck the tail in. Somehow this arm is... I thought I put it higher and it's at the exact same spot as the other arm. That is a fail. But that's just arm placement. I mean, he still looks cute. So now we're going to do the face, and I actually kind of want to try. I got some safety eyes yesterday, so maybe I can put safety eyes in this dude. But they might be cute. I don't know if these are too big. Oh my god. Okay, that's a big eye. Wait, I have some smaller ones. I don't know why I'm doing this on camera. I could totally pause and then try on all the eyeballs off camera, but oops. I just spilt them everywhere. Oh no. We don't want to lose any. Okay. I just think safety eyes might look cute, and I know I don't have any more big beads. Oh yes, these are perfect. I'll put it right there. Is that a good spot for the eyes? I think so. Let me... Oh yes, that's perfect. So you could put beads. I'm using safety eyes today, apparently, just because they look kind of cute. And why not? So... Oh no. Oh, there we go. So you'll just want to put... You can attach beads how I usually do, but I'm using safety eyes today. Okay. I don't know if I put the back on that one too tight. I never use safety eyes. At least with this one, you don't have to worry about forgetting to put the eyeballs in. I always do that, and that's part of the reason why I don't use safety eyes, is I always forget to put the backs on the eyeballs, and then they just fly out. And then I already have them, like, stuffed and shut, so then I just use beads. So. Shoot. I think I put the backing on one of these too tight. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. He still looks cute. Okay, I'm gonna go get some bands for the cheeks. Okay, I found bands for the cheeks. I also had to refix the safety eye because it kind of just popped out. I have no idea how to use safety eyes. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering where I got these from Joann's. So anyways, to do the cheeks, we're just gonna come in somewhere under the eye, and usually on a band that's going like this. You'll go through it. You'll pull a band through everything on your hook. Both ends back on your hook. You'll push the back one over the front one, and you'll pull kind of sort of tight, but not super tight. Just tight enough so it stays. And then you'll hide the tail inside. And then you have a cheek. Do this on the other side. And then we have cheeks. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. So that is pretty much it for this ghost tutorial. I hope your ghost turns out okay. I know this is not as probably as I don't know, like, as clean as one of my other designs. You can tell it's one of my earlier designs. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. But I feel like maybe that's why I should put a tutorial for it. For maybe beginners, it's a little bit of an easier design and not as complicated. Subscribe if you want to see some more tutorials for me. As you can tell, for the past week, I've been putting out tutorials pretty much every day because I'm trying to get some tutorials out before Halloween. So subscribe because they're probably still going to keep coming until Halloween comes. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see some more things from me. I'll leave my Instagram and my Etsy and all that in the description in case you want to check any of that out. If I make any designs, they're probably going to be shown on Instagram before they ever come here, so if you want to see some stuff that's coming, definitely go follow my Instagram. But I think that is it for this tutorial. Like I said, if you make any ghosts, definitely share them with me. I would love to see them. But yeah, that is it for this one, so I'm going to go. Bye.